morning and welcome to today's literacy lesson. So we are learning about a new type of text this half term. We are learning about persuasive letters. So I would like you to pause this video for a moment and just have a little think. What does persuasive mean? Okay, welcome back. So, persuasive means being good at persuading or convincing somebody to do something. So, when you ask somebody to do something and you try to convince them it is a good idea. So, when might you write a persuasive letter? Who might you write it to? I would like you to pause the video now and write down a time that you might write a persuasive letter and who might you write it to? Who do you want to ask to do something and what do you want to ask them to do? Pause the video and write down the answers to those two questions now, please. Off you go. Welcome back. Okay, so I hope you've answered the question, when might you write a persuasive letter and who might you write it to? Some examples that we have might be if Mrs. Carroll took all of our iPads away, we might write her a persuasive letter to give them back. We might also write Mrs. Carroll a persuasive letter to let us wear non-school uniform. So somebody writing to somebody who you want to do something and convincing them to do it. So we are going to look now at the different features, the different parts of a persuasive letter. And we are going to call these features the shapes of a persuasive letter. So the different things that we include in a persuasive letter are called the shapes or the features. And for each shape or feature, we have a little picture. And this is the order that they come in our persuasive letter. So we're going to read an example persuasive letter together and then discuss the shapes one at a time. So this is our persuasive letter and we are writing a persuasive letter to a famous author, and we are going to try to persuade or convince the author to come and visit our school. So our letter needs to convince the author to come and visit our school. So our first shapes of a persuasive letter are here. We have the address and the date, and they go at the top of every letter. So we might have BIS Hanoi, Vinhomes Riverside as our address, and the date as Monday the 22nd of February. Then we have the salutation. Now, salutation is another way of saying hello. And when we are writing a letter, we write what is called a letter salutation. Dear Sir or Madam, if we don't know the name, or dear if we do know the name. So here we know the name. Our author is called Miss Child. So dear Miss Child, that is our salutation. Okay, here we come to our first shape. And our first shape is called zoom out to zoom in. Now, what that means is we are writing to an author to ask them to come and visit our school. Okay, so first of all, we are going to zoom out to look at the bigger picture before we zoom in to talk about why we want this author specifically. So we want to look at the big picture. Why is reading important? So not just why do we want this author, but why is reading important? So let's read our sentences for the first shape. As our class was finding out more about authors who championed reading, you were described as an advocate for this cause. In the UK, pupils who do not read are slipping academically, drifting dangerously towards lower standards and risking their life chances. In our school, we are struggling with finances. As costs are cut from English budgets, reading resources are reduced and there is money mayhem. We need help quickly at BIS Hanoi. So that's the big picture. Our next shape, we need you. So why do we want this author to come? We think as a children's laureate, you would be able to powerfully drive a positive reading culture. So a children's laureate is the special author chosen to write for children in a country. We believe you are the perfect person to help us promote reading enjoyment in our school. Reading is unique. Reading is magical. Reading is escapism. Reading is like a golden key that unlocks your imagination. So our first two shapes zoom out to look at the bigger picture. And then we need you. Why do we want this specific author? Then we are going to go in with some hard-hitting statistics, so facts and figures that will convince our author to come and visit. Without a doubt, reading is a vehicle to drive up test results, widen life experiences and bolster individual happiness. In spite of 1 in 4 children saying they enjoyed reading, this is not reflected in every group within our school. As Anne Lamott says, what a miracle it is that out of these small, flat, rigid squares of paper unfolds world after world after world, worlds that sing to you, comfort and quiet or excite you. Okay, so those are the statistics about reading that will convince our author to come. And finally, we are looking at the negative effects. So what are the bad things that will happen if we don't read or if we don't have someone to help us with reading in our school? Can you imagine trying to promote reading without any money? Well, it's impossible. What would you do? I hope you would be as driven as us. Do you think it's fair that we don't have a reading advocate? It isn't fair. It isn't fair at all. We are in crisis. If you don't help us, our school will fall behind. Our motivation to read will be lost and our dreams will be shattered. So the negative effects if the author does not come. Okay, next, growing evidence. That means building on the reasons we want our author to come with more facts. So this is quite similar to hard-hitting statistics, but we are growing our evidence. We're building on that. In other words, this is a critical time for us, and the mounting evidence suggests that if this issue is not addressed immediately, life chances are at risk. We have 800 pupils on roll at our school. We have 400 in Key Stage 1 and 400 in Key Stage 2. We have 450 boys and 350 girls. Please take a moment to consider how many lives you could change. Victoria, aged 9, stated recently, reading has become a bit boring. Our next shape is partnership. So we are telling our author that we want to work together with them in a partnership together. Please do the right thing. Please take action. Please help us to make reading exciting again. Our vision is an innovative reading curriculum. Our vision is a school where every child loves reading. Our vision is a partnership with an author who cares. a big finish now. So we're really trying to persuade our author. And here we're doing that with a little rhyme, you can see. So, Miss Child, with all your might, help make our reading curriculum bright. We are looking forward to an enriching relationship with you that takes us into the future. Never before has this issue been so imperative, that means important. Why should you help us? We need you to do the right thing. And finally, signing off. We eagerly await your response. Yours sincerely, Class 4. So, I know that there will be a lot in that letter, but I don't want you to worry because we are going to help you write your letter one shape at a time. For now, we just wanted to introduce you to the different shapes and what they mean. Now, your task today is, I would like you to try and do this without re-watching the video first, but then you can check your answers by watching the video again. Okay, your job is to match the symbol to the definition. So, here you have the names of all of the shapes and all of the symbols, and your job is just to match them together, and you're going to have a little think about what each one means while you do that. Okay, good luck with your work today. Thank you very much.